who have very distinct playstyle, which is a complete opposite, right? They are like bipolars. Resurgence, hyper aggressive. LY4 plays really greedy, really aggressive, but it works for them. Bosskurr, more robust, more reserved. They don't mind playing from behind. So it's like a yin and yang situation. It comes down to who can get the upper hand, and I think Resurgence so far has been proving that their aggression pays off almost all of the time.
I don't know, with that kind of ban coming out, they don't want a Sicilian with Camilla again for the combo. The Atlas is really handy to actually, I don't know, do they really necessarily need to ban now Atlas? I kind of question that instead of anything else there, because we're talking about still a couple of heroes that can be used here. For example, Digi if they want, but apparently they won't take that one with already lock on none other than Kufra as a frontliner. But Zaraki, he will finish up with an Xbox. Would you take Digi at this point or not?
If I'm Resurgence, Digi doesn't sound too bad, honestly. But if they take Digi, it basically just means that they're going a hyper carry lineup, right? For
it's
protect.
It's not necessarily. Well, yeah, they're gonna go for hyper carry, obviously. Yeah, they're gonna go for a marksman mid. They don't have a choice for that.
Yeah.
But LY4 can go for the hard carry lane, which is gonna be the safe lane there. Well, it's not a problem for Sana to go for the off lane if he plays with Uranus later on. But then if they have Digi on this side, yeah, I'm gonna say cancel that one out because it will be Kagura for the mid lane.
Exactly. Actually, speaking about Atlas, KZP has released a video. Resurgence released a video recently. KZP giving everyone a guide on how to use Atlas. It was pretty funny. If you guys haven't checked it out, do watch it. He mispronounced Atlas' name. But before we go into the game, let's see what these two teams have to say to each other. Roll the taunt video, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check it out.
Bosskurr, I hope you guys work hard. Every season, you guys come with a very nice roster, but every season you fail. So this season, I think no exception. Hope you will be more than just a branding.
Kepada tim Resurgence, korang jangan bagi kenyataan yang macam tu sebab korang pun sama 2x5 dengan kita orang.
Oh, Resurgence, stop!
I'm loving that taunt because they just they just put it in their face. You can't say that you're just like us. It's kind of true.
Man,
you know, it's kind of true.
Resurgence just, oh my, this is rub it in Bosskur's face. Like, oh my, it's like, you know, it's those kind of statements where like, I can't deny it, but then again, it stings.
Yeah, you know, it's like you eat your own words and they just show it back to their mouth. But that was a nice win for Bosskurr. Same goes for Resurgence. That's a thought we're looking forward to. But now, Bosskurr straight away going in basic play. Try to snatch away this red buff on top. KZP got stuck in the middle, already used his bandit skills there. And apparently he will be taken out as the first blood. Kufra finished the job there. Lexia managed to blink just in the last minute. At the same time, Sana is struggling, being banned out by none other than Vale. They will go back to their own respective lane with that kind of exchange. A little win on side of Bosskurr, but Resurgence can still take this opportunity and closing up the gap very soon.
Yeah, and Resurgence, unfortunately, they lost KZP, but KZP bought enough time. Bosskurr were able to get out because of the flickers on both Sino and Lacia. I believe they were able to get out with the flicker. 4 flickers for Bosskurr as well, so a lot of ability right there. They don't really have to go for the Purify on the carry because of Resurgence's lineup. It doesn't really bother them too much. But, you know, we've seen Resurgence. They are not the kind of team that, oh, just because we lost a buff fight, we're going to slow down. No, they're just going to keep running at you. And seems like even though it's a Kagura pick, they're still focusing a lot on their Claude, which I think is the right decision.
Well, you don't want to let LY4 farming too much. I do remember when you let LY4 farming since like forever, ancient times we're talking about. You let this guy kind of remind me of Fake sometimes. before even Fake actually existed, he actually plays like that. LY4 can farm very fast if you let him and give him too much space there. So they don't want to overdo that themselves. Same goes for Lazy out here. Apparently he having a lot of buff, including the gold just now. So they will try to take and force the fight around on top of the Jawhead Sana there. But they will be forced to take another fight here because Kagura already got that yin and yang overturn on the side of Jason already. Level 4, but we're talking about level 6 here. Level 6 hyper carry Lazia with a carry.
Yeah, exactly. And LY4, he's a greedy player, but in a good way because he can always find farm no matter how bad the situation is. Attempted to engage on the KZP, but Kermila pre-tanky Osino jumping in has Will the Dragon. He's looking for Jason, but Jason is the Kagura. Just easy disengage from Resurgence. They lost no one off of that gank.
At the same time, preemptive fight around the turtle here. Will they try to snatch it away for Bosskurr? I do see a Chow coming up from the top. Sino, they cannot contest this because they were forced to actually regen from the damage shadow coming out from the side of none other than Resurgence just now. So now since he's diving way too much, if you ask me, he's even diving in the wrong base.
Yeah, but he was able to buy time, so his death is definitely worthwhile. Resurgence still has the gold lead despite not getting any kills so far. Zaraki does not have the Firaga armor, but he has a flicker, able to get away with a slither of health, surviving LY4's bullets. So Bosskurr is still in a pretty safe spot, but you know, LY4 always finds farm. Off of his farm alone, Resurgence were able to keep themselves in the lead when it comes to goal advantage.
And now down to Sino, he's trying to split push and cut the creep wave bit by bit. Look at that, they're playing tango for Sino as well as, if I'm not mistaken, Sana on top of that. And he didn't have that. Oh, way of Dragon Ride beneath that tower. I don't think it actually beneficial for neither of these teams here. Lazia coming a little bit late, but they will try to make that kill out for Lazia. He didn't get that one yet. He toss it in. Lazia still managed to secure that, but the expense of having his HP drop quite a number of low there, less than half. If you ask me now, the rest of Resurgence coming out, the cavalry trying to do another force engagement. Jab missed that jumping just now, didn't set the rest of the team for that position. Well, looking at Zaraki arrive with last incentive can be popped. Jab will be the first one to be out first, but Zaraki, his Ferga armor being knocked, and away they go. No more Ferga armor, no more last incentive. At the bottom lane, we're having the tanks fighting against each other too. Sick fighting against none other than Sino down there, but back on top we go. Zaraki still try to get back his energy back up for that Firaga armor to replenish itself. At the same time, Logan try to scout things over. They have two sides of Resurgence here, KZP and Sana, scouting things out in the bush. They are trying to read the positioning of Bosskur's team, where are the other members will be. But now we go force another fight in the turtle pit.
Too easy for Jebs. He manages to jump in as Zaraki gets unstoppable. A great eject to stun up the rest of Bosskurr, slow down the tempo, but it does save Zaraki. I feel like that is the better decision from Sana. He was able to stop the engage from Bosskurr with that eject, and Resurgence will disengage from that. However, they still have control of the turtle pit. This is the advantage that they kind of gain for themselves. It is minor, people might not pay attention to it, but it's pretty important in the long run, especially when both teams are running this hyper carry composition. But Resurgence now, their objective is to get this mid tier 1 as soon as possible so that they can focus, they can let this Jawhead run around a bit more, because he has been preoccupied almost the entire game, the entire 6 minutes so far.
And we're looking at both sides of the draft kind of stable for now, but there you go, straight away charging with unstoppable force at that. Jawhead trying to run away, diving way too much, disrespecting that turret is not a great call, but they buy them some time, but still away. That turtle by Jab, nice call coming out from Team Bosskurr. Got one kill, even a turtle at that. That is really a big disappointment coming out from Team Resurgence there. Almost bought enough time for that turtle, but in the last minute it got stolen away by Team Bosskurr. It's really adding the salt into the wound.
Well, they got the turtle, good for them, but they lost the tier 2 in the bottom lane. Singh has not been touched much. I mean, he died once. That's pretty much it. But the space that he has created for his team is actually immense. Now Bosskurr has to really pay attention to the bottom lane. They are going to inevitably lose this tier 1 in the mid lane as well. Resurgence are piling resources. But if you look at LY4, he is ready to fight, and he does not mind joining all these skirmishes. Too easy for just being forced right back again. Flicker will be the lifesaver for this Kufra. However, Sino is finding it a bit hard to deal with Sync at this point of the game.
You have to give a lot of credit to Sync. He has been buying so much time for his team, especially LY4, to farm up so many things. At the same time, just pushing that bottom lane solo-handedly is not an easy task. You have to sacrifice yourself not to get into the fight if not needed. And now LY4 has what it takes to just blazing duet away. We're looking at force engagement here on top. They got one for mega kill on the side of Lazia. Another kill there by Zaraki, and we're down into Jab here. Can he survive that last minute? And Zaraki keep on shooting every single person that Jason will force to a retreat. LY4, that was really close to almost losing it. If he is down, there will be a hard time for Resurgence to come back because they will push straight away. But that was a nice flame shot coming out from Jason.
From downtown, and Zaraki got caught off guard. That was not too bad of a fight. LY4 manages to get out. He almost got a couple of kills with that blazing duet. The damage really wasn't there at that point of time. And again, the flicker being the lifesaver for Bosskurr. A little bit of shout out to Sana though. He went suicide bomber mode. He just kamikaze his way with the ultimate, tried to do as much damage before he died, and that's what stopped Bosskurr from continuing the fight, because LY4 was ripping through everyone. But now a fight at the turtle. This time Sana steals it away as a form of retribution for his team, but they do lose LY4 off screen, and that means Bosskurr can now take this fight. Sana a bit too far forward. He wants Logan, but Logan will get him instead. Double kill for
Logan was last hit just now, still turn back and make sure he has that last hit kills. That's really cheeky coming up from him, but he has to just retreat now. Everybody will force, but Sino blocked that one out for Logan. Nice call. That flame shot almost get one kill, but at the same time, like you say, Aski, they are letting that bottom lane way too much now. There's no more tower except for the tier 3. And they still have a lot of towers on the side of Resurgence on bottom lane as well. 2 towers still full HP there. At the same time, sacrificing a lot of the middle lane. I do kind of worry for side of Resurgence. We do know mid lane is the shortest lane in the game itself. Straight direct forward here. We're talking about straight from one base to another. That's the shortest journey or the shortest route that you actually can get in the game. That mid lane is really crucial to defend on.
Yep, and the biggest reason Bosskurr won the previous fight was because they killed off LY4 right when the fight started. That is exactly what they need to do, and it applies for Resurgence as well. If they kill off Leisha when the fight starts, it just gets way easier. But now the tier 1 mid finally goes down. Sync is joining his team, finally gonna join his team after so long, after split pushing for so long. But Bosskurr are retaliating. They are responding by taking down the tier 2 bottom. Zaraki tries to flicker away, but he's not getting away this time, as LY4 will gun him down. But look at the base of Resurgence. Jason not able to survive that. KZB tries to help his team, but he also dies, and Sync will be forced to retreat and defend the base. But LY4, he will get his own inhibitor turret. They're trading 1 for 1.
Oh no. Is it a worth trade here? We're talking about Boss, given that they've been winning about the scores, but it's not about the scores when it comes to winning about the game. It's all about defending your crystal and your throne right in the base there, and things are not working out well for both of the team. They both lost their gates towards the entrance there. Bottom lane and the top lane both are kind of open for each of these lanes, and Sino trying to just push. The same goes for Zaraki, hoping that they can push more further up top lane. At the same time, both teams are trying to force the fight later on, sniffing around Lord's pit here. Will they get the Lord? I do know that the one that get themselves this Lord might just win this game, and this will discipline themselves. He will actually get the game 1 on their side.
It's going to be a waltz around the Lord pit, as if you're talking about team composition, Bosskurr can definitely be the one to start a fight more convincingly. You have the Kufra and all. And speaking about Kufra, it's too easy for that. Jumps right in by LY4. You gotta keep your eyes on this guy as he blazing twists right in, takes out Logan. Jason goes down though as Leisha goes on the monster skill trick. Sana needs to retreat. KZB protecting that cloud as LY4 will finally slay. Too easy for Jazz. Zaraki trying to burn everyone down, but Sino is already dead. It's now Leisha versus LY4. Who's gonna win this out? Leisha goes godlike, and Leisha though not gonna be surviving that. Resurgence gets the last laugh and Zaraki tries to burn down KZP, but KZP will walk away with his life as Resurgence might try to attempt to start the Lord. Zaraki will be the only guy from Bosskurr to attempt to stop this.
That was really close and they almost lost it. And Resurgence, they are really going for it this time. We're looking at LY4 really pumped up, but he has to wait in the base for now. Can he make it on time for that Lord? One more bar to go and they try to steal it over. The rest of Team Bosskurr coming in and now top Insanity. Away that Lord and now back into Resurgence game. They need LY4 with just 3 more seconds. And now Singh tried to run away from this jab, trying to catch up to Sink, and now they will kick this one now, but that's a tank we're talking about. Take them some time. LY4, they really need him at that time, but he's not there. If only LY4 was alive, they probably already taken a lot for themselves for Resurgence before that steal by that last Insanity pop by Zaraki.
Resurgence, they wanted a hard commit, but LY4 was not there. They just don't have enough damage. One last Insanity. It was pretty clear the moment, this Xbox Zaraki uses his ultimate that Lord is not gonna go over to Resurgence. But valiant attempt though, Bosskurr off of that one steal, they have pulled themselves back into the game. Now with the Lord marching down the bottom lane, it's their turn to try and turn this around onto Resurgence. And this could very well be the final nail in the coffin. Resurgence needs a miracle fight, just like what happened at the Lord Pit.
Can they get another one? Because we're taking Lord this time on the side of Bosskurr here. They are marching with one big push. Can they have enough more time to have that one miracle fight to happen again? They have to actually pray for LY4 blazing duet, but cancelled by none other than Jep jumping just now, charging in, and that didn't hit a lot of them for that blazing duet. It was being denied for his entrance, none other than LY4. He cannot jump in the middle of a fight just now. That was a nice zoning out coming up from the tank's side from Bosskurr. Even having knocked out at Logan, that Searing Torn really is a bummer on the side of Resurgence. They need to shut down the supports coming out from this, because that zoning out coming from as well as Sino and Logan and also Jap. Lazia just can't hit anybody he wants to from the side lanes or even from the back.
Yep, and Bosskurr managed to get an extra inhibitor turret in the middle lane, and Resurgence, one of the perks that's keeping them in this game is the fact that their top inhibitor tower is still there, whereas they got Bosskurr's top inhibitor turret. So it's kind of a silver lining in the situation. The crystal took a bit of damage, but it will regenerate. They managed to take out the Lord. They managed to defend the base and kill off Zaraki at the same time. But this 4 flicker composition is really paying dividends for Bosskurr. It's giving Resurgence a literal run for their money.
A little or too much run here. We're talking about widening the gaps, 47k to 51k, 15 to 9 for the scoreboards. But what matters is the GPM and the turrets. Apparently they have more turrets now. The widening up of the gap here, including the middle turret of that middle lane, will be taken down apparently, and it's really a wide open space for Resurgence. They have so many holes in their houses and their base now. They need to actually defend and also push at the same time. Can they figure things out for LY4? He needs to have whatever he needs to, whatever it takes to win now. Because we're talking about LY4, does he has enough farm when it compared to Lazia on that side?
Yeah, I think Lazia, if he didn't kill off LY4, if he didn't trade his life for LY4 at the Lord Pit, this game would have been much more different. But we are now at this 16-minute mark where Lazia is just way stronger than the Claude when it comes to late game scaling, and it's an undeniable fact. But Resurgence, even though they are the hyper-aggressive team, right? They are the team that is opposite of what Bosskurr is. We have seen them play with a deficit and come back from it before. So Bosskurr now has to rely on their shot calling. Jabs is the guy that's going to lead this team to victory. With the second Lord being up, if Bosskurr takes this Lord, this game is over for Resurgence. So they need to find a way to contest the objective.
They need to at least think a way to steal this away, just like how Zaraki did on the last one. They almost lost it for Bosskurr, but that's a nice rage coming out. Tyrant's rage coming out from Jab there, but no follow. But still managed to burn everybody down. They have Logan, they have that last insanity. Where is LY4? LY4 is having a hard time to survive. Tino making sure he locked himself down in that way of dragon, and now 6 the only persons left. They don't even need a lot to finish now. There's 2 Chris marching out there, and it will be Bosskurr winning the first game for now. Resurgence 0, we're talking about best of 3, but still it's Bosskurr game for the first one.
Bosskurr, the Slayer of Titans, is just so good on the hero. Respect from Bosskurr for respect ban, excuse me, on the Farsa. Resurgence taking on the Natalia again. This time they're gonna ban out the Ling. Interestingly enough, Resurgence LY4 plays an amazing Ling, but they don't want to go for it, at least for this game.
Well, Ling is a handful, but I like the fact that they ban out Carry here to just even the odds out. But they still have Claude out there. Also, don't forget Uranus is out there as well. That's why they locked it up from Bosskurr. They still have Volley. They can go for another fight with Volley if they want. Apparently, it's one of the best supports we have so far. There's also Nana, but then I don't know. Nana is like, you know, a wild card that everybody just throws into in case they need it. Like, you know, depends on the draft.
Yeah, and it's going to be, you know, the Grok Uranus. So looking at a really robust, really strong opening. Bosskurr already establishing that battlefront, that frontliner. But in the previous game, I believe that Selena was banned out by Bosskurr, but this time it was let through the ban. So I'm not surprised if Resurgence goes for it. They do play the Selena as well. They pick Carmilla in the first phase, and they're gonna go for it again. Apparently KZP does favor this very deadly lady. Oh, it's gonna be a Jawhead instead of a Selena, alright.
I can see the Camilla being snatched between these two teams. I don't know if you noticed, this is the first game that we started off today. Even it was taught a game, everybody's trying to snatch Camilla out of everybody's hands. It happens to be Camilla is one of the most favorite tank support these days, but still they will go for Volley if they can and they want to for Bosskurr, like we mentioned before. Apparently this is going to be an offline Uranus later on. They still haven't picked their marksman or assassin at this point. We don't know who will be the mid laner. I don't think, I have to agree about not having a Volley as a mid laner. It's not as how do I say this? His damage is enough, but it's not bursting enough damage and not clearing the minion fast than the rest of the mage that we have to mention in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think that Vali is a great hero, great support, but I just don't feel like it can fit into the middle lane, because when he's played by, let's say you're a mid lane player, right? He ends up being the support, you know, he roams around and funnels resources into the marksman, which ultimately becomes the hyper carry meta as we know. So if there's a Valiant mid, you can kind of anticipate this hyper carry playstyle from that particular team. But Resurgence, they finally got their hands on the Esmeralda and most importantly, the Sicilian as well.
Another combo of these two lovers here. We have a romantic duo aside from Camilla and Sicilian. But jumping onto the marksman, they will lock onto Bruno for their last options here. Is it going to be a hyper carry Bruno? Highly likely, because we're looking at Zaraki again in the solo lane. Probably between those two, the side lanes, we're going to be Uranus and also the Cho. On the side of Resurgence, we're looking at, well, another Esmeralda at a point. Sicilian, between, do you think a lot of players been playing Sicilian as a support instead of a mid laner these days?
I guess you are looking at Sicilian because he has great utility, right? His Sanguine Claw is I still feel like something needs to be done about Sanguine Claw because it's a huge AoE, it catches multiple targets, and it's easy to land it. But also because he does skill, right? He can have bad farm early on, but if he gets his stack, he always skills into the late game, which is probably what teams want to like utilize for Sicilian. But ultimately, I still think if you want to play fast, you want to be consistent, Sicilian is still better off getting the farm for himself. And Frasa can be a better substitute with that feather airstrike.
I have to totally agree with that, because I do feel Sicilian, he needs a lot of farming and a lot of items too, especially the stacks coming out from Sicilian itself. They need a passive going on here, so he needs a last hit, or even, you know, just spam it away for the first kill. Bad impact at that. But we're looking at the duo of the lovers here, KSP on Camilla and Jason on Sicilian, both gonna make sure LY4 have all the farm he needs. But down below, we're looking at that buff will be still enough by none of them. Bosskurr, they're trying to play a gas here, but KZP managed to secure that and making sure they have extra experience. Still level 1 on Bosskurr, most of them level 2 on Resurgence. That's a bad timing. And now they are taking the backlash quite a lot in terms of Bosskurr losing that fight a little bit slow when it comes to clear that buff. 2-0 for Resurgence, winning that buff and a couple of kills there. A good start for them.
Not this time, Bosskurr, not this time, as Jason steals the buff away for Bosskurr. Resurgence, they are not going down, they're not going to go down quietly. They know what Bosskurr did in game 1 and they are delivering payback tenfold. So buff steal, 2 kills for Resurgence to open things up. Things couldn't have gone any better, and immediately rotation towards the top lane. Again, one of the ways to deal with Uranus, if you have sufficient magic damage, is to just go to his lane and push him out. That was what Resurgence did for a while, and now Cena will be forced to recall, giving a bit more space to Sync.
KZP try to fight it off again. Jab has no way to actually fight that one now. We're looking at Bosskurr now. It's the reverse as what Resurgence had before. It's totally a karma hitting back right in the face here. Bosskurr try to fight this one out, but LY4 with that blazing duet really hits a lot of damage there with the help of Jason from afar. That was a nice coming out combination from Resurgence. Now 4-0 Bosskurr slowly trying to win this one now, but a little bit hard with a little bit of heads up coming from Resurgence there. They're having a great momentum in the early game this time, but Zeno trying to get this one out for himself. That crap really matters a lot. He will get himself that level 4. Sync managed to steal it away from his hands, that's slipping right underneath his nose. Jab waiting for the right time here. LY4 just gonna go another farming phase, I say. Another kill for that.
Holy cow, Resurgence, they are taking everything away. They steal buff, they steal gold crab. LY4 managing to get out of that, no problem. Bosskurr this time feeling the heat from Resurgence. Resurgence are getting into their groove. Maybe you were right, maybe game 1 was just, you know, testing the water, see how Bosskurr plays, see how far they can take things. And now Resurgence, they are turning things up a notch. They're going into you know, their comfort zone with this draft. And Bosskurr, they just need to kind of slow things down like what they did in game 1. And with their discipline, I am confident that they can make it happen.
Looking at the combo between Jason and KZP, Jason's downside with this hero is that if you jump next to him, he cannot go anywhere. His skills way so hard to actually, it's a long range skills that we're talking about. He cannot land a skill if you're just next to him, but at the same time, it's complemented by Camilla, who happens to be all the skills or all the damage will be done if you're in close range. There's a nice combination we have there. So how do Bosskurr approach this one now? They're having one more gap widening with taking down that turtle coming up from the side of Resurgence, but Zaraki will be taken down here. That's a lot of missiles coming out from Sana, tossing ejection there at the same time, but he will get killed as well. It's 1-0 for both team now for that kind of a trading, but 6-1 for the scoreboard so far. Bosskurr slowly but surely try to make more spaces for them to make Lazia farming as comfortably he can. But the thing is with Bruno, you need it to be at mid-game. It's almost impossible to make any damage. Yeah, you can still make a lot of damage in early game, but you still need a lot of space at the same time.
Yeah, and Bruno is one of the hardest hitting marksmen with long range, but he needs a lot of time and resources. Zeno getting jumped on, he should be able to get out, but Resurgence, they were here for the turret and they got it. Zeno though still trying to defend the structure, but he's not going to hold on for long. That structure is going to go down, and if he stays, he might just get killed. Flame Shot comes in, the bad impact finally connects, but LY4 will be the one who goes on a killing spree. Resurgence, they take a kill, and they're gonna take another turret.
And now that's a bigger win for them because they got themselves a tier 2 tower instead of Bosskurr. They got only the tier 1 tower on top there. The rest of Team Resurgence tower is untouchable except for the one that they took just now. But we're looking at widened gap and also empty lanes for Bosskurr bottom lane there. They need to defend, not just going offense at the same time. They need to think about the marching of the minions coming up from behind. And looking at this, Resurgence waiting for the green light to go in. Zaraki is way far back than the rest of the team. Logan will be the first one to take it down here. Leisure tried to run away, but that's a nice bloodbath coming up from Camilla. Try to stun it away. Kaizepi has no way out now. And now Jeb tried to finish this one. No, but still can just get away from this. Kaizepi made it out alive. And now Sino tried to just buy more time. But they need Lexia to be up and online. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. We're looking at Y4 having so much space to farm on his side with the help of Jason and Kaizepi. Alongside of that, making sure that he has all the space he needs. LY4 getting one more turtle for the side of Resurgence.
Yeah, LY4 having the dream game of this squad so far. 9 kills to 2 and 8,000 gold advantage for RSG. Bosskurr, they are now really on the back foot as compared to game 1 where they are kind of close in terms of net worth, but now they will have to kind of chill a bit and really just get the space that they find some space. Zaraki is not going to be able to play the game as much. The 4th death of the game. Resurgence will start running at Bosskurr once again. Jason shows up from nowhere and assassinates Logan. It's too easy for Jabs. It's a bit too easy to kill at this point. LY4 on a monster kill streak.
Lexia need more than this. They need Sino alongside with the rest of the team now. It's now to take now or never because they might just lose this tower as well. But Sino has no follow-up to just defend this. He bought himself with his life to buy more time. Zaraki managed to kick that one now, but it's not going to be enough there. And Resurgence, slowly but surely with the help of the minions, try to claw themselves up onto that bloody throne coming up from that Bosskurr. Try to defend it as much as they can. Jason, LY4, Kaizepi with the help of Singsi trying to zone out everybody who try to defend themselves. Zaraki will be the next one. Cicina on double kill at that range coming up from it. Bad impact, really did a lot of work and a lot of damage. And it's so hard to reach that Sicilian from this distance. Sana try to push all lanes possible with the help of the team. Going for mid, he's going for top instead. Jason trying to go in for more. LY4 waiting for the next blazing to actually online. They will try and force the fight this one out.
Yep, Resurgence, they are just gonna look for the crystal straight away. One last sanguine claw as Jason unloads that ultimate. Twisty, we're just gonna try and frontline as much as he can, but the flame shot will start raining down on Bosskurr. All 5 members still alive for now, but Leisha will be the first target as LY4 is legendary. Sana trying to look for Sino. Kasana Cassini not able to toss him back with the eject just yet, but Bosskurr with only 4 members alive, only thing keeping them in the game, it's gonna be the lack of minion waves, but that's not gonna be a truth for long. Sing jumps in onto Sino. Resurgence, they focus fire the crystal, and we are looking at a game number 3 as Bosskurr gets obliterated in game 2.
Wow, it's just the same as what we watched as game 1, but it's the reverse of the play at this time. They will get carry on their side. We're looking at carries on the winning side almost all the time. The last game, Resurgence take the carry first, they got themselves the win. The same goes for Team Bosskurr. First game, they got that carry, Lexia pulled it off with that carry winning that first game. So will it be carry first now? Maybe?
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be carry, unless Bosskurr has an answer to that, right? You don't pick carry, then Resurgence take it away. Like carry is like
carry is like carrying all the team. You're saving grace out there.
Yeah, you know, like how to put it. Carry is like a bar of, it's like diamond, right? Like you see diamond on the road, you definitely won't miss it, right? Like you will definitely pick it up. Like it's an essential. Like if we have to put it, like, okay, my analogy is very bad, but carry is like oxygen. You can't live without oxygen, right? Like if you have limited oxygen to work with, you see carry, you pick her. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get the idea. You get the idea.
So carry is not a curry. Carry is an oxygen. Carry is like basically it's just air that you need to breathe on. There you go.
Yes.
I don't know how you actually come up with that, but it was really remarkable from the side of Bosskurr. Really? It helps a lot. Okay, back into the game. Carry is really a good pick this one because you know how easily melting away that Uranus armor. But we're talking about, again, Resurgence on that combo on Camilla and Cecilia. I've been talking about this a couple of times now. We do see Cecilia with a very long range, high burst damage when it comes to mid game, a lot of stacks, a lot of mana regen. Never gonna get that bad impact on CD if you have that stacks on over 100. At the same time, we have Camilla on his side, making sure nobody can reach to that Sicilian with that bloodbath 4 stuns and also that crimson flower to making sure all the regens and even the ultimate is really painful linking everybody else. Can they again fight this one for Bosskurr? Because we're looking at again, can Vale and also Grok help out for that carry?
I feel like for Resurgence, there's a chance that they might go for a Hayabusa because LF4 does play. A Link is also up on the table. They ban out Export, which is pretty interesting. Trying to pinpoint put my finger on where the reason behind that. But Bosskurr's ban on the Claude is pretty straightforward. You know, LF4 has been playing Claude for both games. It has been amazing. So Bosskurr wants to like force his cards out. But it seems like Resurgence is going to keep that pick for the last surprise. They're going to lock in the draw hit for the 3rd time.
I don't know why they ban out Xbox here, because they want to just take out all the heroes that can zone out Resurgence side to reach out to Lexia. So they are cutting it short and narrow it down for the side of Bosskurr to have the heroes that can be having immune. For example, when you pop that last incentive, you can have that immune for a bit and hitting a lot of AoE damage when it pops out. But now it's down to having Esmeralda on Bosskurr side, and again, easy for Jap. Jap, can he get that Tyrant's Rage without any miss this time? That's the biggest thing he has his responsibility onto. We are wishing, but Kimi won't be a bad pick here either. Look at that, 3 flame shots. Wow, flame shots, man.
Resurgence, what can I say? They love their flame shots. They love their level 1 cheese, and against Bosskurr's lineup, the triple flame shot is kind of the like as much as I'm not a big fan of it. It works.
I'm loving it. Hey, why do you keep on hating the game, man? Give some love.
No, I don't hate the game. Is I hate the feeling like I put myself in their shoes, right? Imagine get hitting by excuse me. Imagine getting hit by 3 flame shots and dying at level 1. It's not fun. It's not fun. You know, it's not fun.
It's fun to watch and fun to
comment. It's fun to watch. I have a lot of fun when people die like that and I'm commentating. But if I'm the victim, I would not be having fun at all.
I'm having the greatest time of my life. Look at so many flame shots in this game. We're gonna look in the game 3, Bosskurr versus Resurgence. We're the Malaysian Bosskurr favorites. Take down one of the titans of the Singaporean team powerhouse. We're gonna see straight into the game. Mid lane already occupied with so many people. At the same time, leaving that bottom lane alone, they're making sure Lexia try to hyper carry this team all the way, making sure that he is secured for every single minion or even jungle creeps possible. They're gonna go for invasive. This one, Jab jumping over and now airborne Kaiserpeed. Will they snatch this one away? Jason try to hit it as much as he can, but that bad impact consumes too much mana. Oh, they managed to secure it for now, but Bosskurr are really low. It's the same karma, same thing. It's a deja vu all over again. Bosskurr didn't steal that away, and it's this big graveyard digging themselves out there for Bosskurr, losing the experience, and now one more buff. Logan even got caught in that sanguine claws in between there, and that's again a bad start for Bosskurr. 0-3 for Resurgence.
Yeah, this is a complete repeat from game 2. The idea was correct, right? You have Kufra, you have the Grok, you feel really strong when you invade. But the problem is that Resurgence's lineup, their skill kit allows them to control you when you try to go for a dive. They were not able to reach Sync on the Kimi. Resurgence ran 3 flame shots. Uranus was flanking, LF4 was flanking from behind, and Jason hit level 2 just in time for the Sanguine Claw, so it caught Bosskurr off guard, forced them to retreat, and they still ended up losing 3 members.
Flame shots!
That's the 4th one. See?
That's a lot of flame shot, a lot of hatred towards Sino. 2 of them even missed, and the 3rd one hit it on point. It was really close to just flung that one out for Resurgence. If they have wasted so many flame shots on that, didn't get that kill, they gonna be salty. But back about the game, Resurgence taking the tower on top while doing the same thing. Mirror melt, we're gonna get a go for Bosskurr here, doing the exact same thing, but didn't get themselves that bottom tower. While Sync are getting that one on top. Nobody is actually defending it.
Yeah, and if you're Bosskurr, you have to also respect the fact that Game 2 Resurgence pushes tower very fast.
What?
Game 3, they don't
even need You don't even need a minion to tank that tower for you. That kind of distance coming up from Sync just now is enough to take down the tower.
Yeah, like I mean, Resurgence's lineup allows it to push towers even faster compared to Game 2 because of that Kimi. The tower has not gone down just yet, which is good for Bosskurr. Normally, if things go really bad, the timer for the first turret would be a minute and a half, between 1 minute and a half and 2 minutes. But 2 flame shots onto Zaraki. Logan will be gunned down by Sync, and it's the 6th kill for Resurgence and none for Bosskurr yet.
It feels like deja vu. Like you said, another replay of that last game just now. The moment they lost that first momentum towards their invasive play, they are going downhill, and snowballing effect coming up from Resurgence here, keeping on getting that picked off after one another. But even so, Bosskurr is not gonna have themselves sitting down quietly. They try to clear themselves that buff here. Lexia need all the carry he can takes, and at the same time, he died once. He cannot die one more time here. We're talking about less than 5 minutes, and can he match up towards the side of Sync farming, or if he's being left behind quite a lot?
Yeah, I think he definitely can catch that, right? He's a carry. Like at the end of the day, he's still one of the strongest marksmen in the game. Oh, Zaraki have to flicker away. That is Sanguine Claw just catches him. He barely survives.
Flame shot! Flame shot, bro! That's just the beauty of it. I know you guys hate it, but we love that shot. But back to Logan. Couple of flame shots. Doubled it with Kimi charging just now. That's 4 flame shots coming out from the side of none other than Resurgence. You have 3 flame shots, but including Kimi ultimate, make it 4. Just make it 4.
What can I say? Resurgence are rolling over Bosskurr at this point. And you know, just a quick recap to the level 1 fight, right? You pointed out that Bosskurr lost the level 1 fight at the buff, and then it started going downhill. One of the reasons was also because their lineup is not good at fighting early on. You compare carry to the Kimi excels way better at level 1, fighting at level 1 and level 2, hence Resurgence were able to commit to that and get the 3 kills. But now, 5.5 minutes in, Resurgence will get a free turtle. Bosskurr, they're not even stepping beyond the tier 2, and you can see how scared they're playing right now. They realize that, guys, it's time to go into conservative mode. We need to get this carry online, but Resurgence, they're just gonna start invading the jungle and push Bosskurr out.
They need all the carry they can get. Zaraki is 0-3-0. It means that they are not doing well here. All they have to do is just making sure they have much more space for Lexia, buying more time for him, but at the same time they are pushing it quite fast here. One more kill coming up from that, and there you go. They just keep on pushing without even thinking. Even they lost Sana just now. Resurgence is going on a wall-driven mode here. We're talking about aggressive. How much more aggressive can you get? You might even want to jump into the tier 2 tower, because they can actually do it with the Uranus on LY4 side. It's possible.
Yeah, and you know, Sana dying right there, it's kind of an expendable, right? It's an expendable death. It doesn't really impact the game too much.
Just a collateral damage, you mean?
Yeah, because he ended up creating space, right? Bosskurr had to rotate 4 members, while Resurgence were pushing down the middle lane. So it's kind of like, yeah, I can give that death away. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't instantly lose us the game because we had such a big lead. But Sana is just gonna respawn and come back and do the same thing over and over again. Whereas Bosskurr offered that kill, they got nothing. They got nothing except for some gold.
Oh my goodness me, look at that. How many things have been thrown on to Zaraki just now, and now they will take down on Sino. Jumping in, Zaraki try to defend this tower. They are going full aggressive here. Resurgence being really scary for the side of Bosskurr. They are trying to get a breather, trying to get that one tower, at least one tower down for Resurgence, which is untouchable for now. And the rest of Team Bosskurr are forced to go back to the base to get a defense mode on, because they are pushing every corner possible. All the lanes are closing into the base of Bosskurr, and they have to defend this one out.
Yeah, I want to point out something about adaptability, but we can hold it until this fight is over, as Zaraki is not going to be able to do anything as he gets blown up by the flame shot. But yeah, so if we realize, actually we didn't get to point this out, it's a minor detail. Bosskurr did the same thing in all 3 games. Level 1 invade, pick a strong tank, level 1 invade. Game 1 succeeded, game 2 Resurgence adapted to it. But Bosskurr went with the same route. They lost, they failed in game 2. Game 3 they did the same thing and they got punished even harder. So Resurgence in terms of that were more disciplined and more and smarter in terms of identifying how Bosskurr is playing, and hence why they were able to generate such a big lead, up to the point where Bosskurr now, they are just not able to react to anything. You can see Sana with the flicker eject, and he just rams himself into Zaraki and takes him out. The 12th kill for Resurgence.
They need more time for Lazia. Apparently he got 1 assist there, but they need to defend this. They cannot afford to take to have one more tower be taken down by Resurgence. That's Valir being one of the victims, including Jap as the Kufra tank there. And there is no way they can tank that Kimi splash. Look at that. She just pew away for Kimi. Not even having a bad day for Sync there. 504 with a flame shot. Double that with that missile charge coming out from the maximum overcharge of the maximum, the Kimi's ultimate there. Look at that. Keep on throwing that flame shot all over the place. Zaraki HP. All that's left is just a quarter after that couple of bombardments coming out from the side of Kimi. And you cannot run away from that. There's so much damage coming out from that I can say semi marksman set. It's not a pure marksman, but it deals a lot of damage in the early game. They will lose this one. There's no way coming out with that minion. That car just gonna push it all away. And that's gonna be 2-1. Resurgence taking that 3rd game for themselves.